I'm surrounded by my work stuff here.
Oh, it's great, man. You got a wonderful laboratory there. Lots of experiments in the background.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Oh, this is where I end up after I've done some of the paperwork for a show, and then I just start. All right, am I going to build stuff? I'll experiment, and then everything can change direction from down here.
Understood. Well, Steve, thought today we could do an interview with you for the Learn Ventriloquism site, and we had talked about a couple of tips that you might be able to share, or just some ideas that would help inspire other ventriloquists. But I want to start with you. I want to know, you came into ventriloquism a little differently than most of us, it seems. Can you tell us about how you became interested, how you got your start?
Yeah, sure. I was working as a puppeteer. Before that, I was a musician, but I wasn't even thinking about puppetry at that stage. But when I was a puppeteer, I was working. My wife and I were working full time. There were two people in a puppet stage, and it was more of a traditional puppet theater we had a big, large stage with multiple different performance areas in it. We had music. We had maybe 6 to 9 characters in a show. I scored all the music, and there were songs. But my wife, Jeannie, actually inspired the whole ventriloquism idea when she said, this format is not really the best for a contemporary audience anymore. That's a nice way of putting it. She was a little more brutal. But I said, well, what do you have in mind? I said, well, when you come out of the stage at the end of the show and demonstrate, the voices and how the puppets are operated, it seems to be another level that we don't achieve, even though we're getting good reviews on the performances. So I thought that was interesting, and then she suggested that I learn ventriloquism and make that after-show presentation into the whole show, because I was good at making stuff up during the show, which she hated when she was doing the other part, and that became my mission. All right, so how do I do this? And the first thing I found in the library was the Paul Winchell video, which I was just watching for my enjoyment up until then, because I was such a huge Paul Winchell fan as a kid, but didn't have an avenue to pursue puppetry or ventriloquism. So music became my, my access point for creativity at that point.